April 15th, 1991. So much has happened with Belinda and not much with the company. Let's see. After about a week of seeing each other, where she spoke of forever and of trying to make it work, along with not running away, this time it's over. I don't regret it. Getting ass over here was great. It seems she did it in a way that was good for both of us. It should have been in a 1950s movie like Bogey and Bacall. Don't you wish you could know what other people are thinking? She cried on my shoulder and said, "The best thing you can do is walk away." So I did. But after that, she said, "I will always love you." Another fine mess I got into. I don't know if this is a game or for real, but I will wait until I hear from her. If not, I will write one letter and mail it before I leave for the United States. So I remember this very clearly, and it was, at the time, I was so hurt with everything else that I really couldn't even process it. I remember her crying on my shoulder. I remember us, hugging and holding each other. And when she said, the best thing you could do is walk away, at that point, I had become so calloused and just angry and mad at everything. And so I just walked away. And then her saying that, I remember her saying that as I was walking away. I never wrote her a letter. We had a couple days and op tempo started moving again, and we were packing up. We had our orders to leave. And the shocking part of this was, it wasn't until like almost 25 years later that Belinda and I reconnected on Facebook. And it took some time, and we talked superficial discussions. And then she finally opened up to me after I had talked about my situation with the divorce and the custody trial and not being able to see my children when I was very vulnerable. And she finally shared with me her decision. What happened was, Belinda had been sexually assaulted and raped by two enlisted men in her command. They found out that she had been providing me with all of the intel, and they used that as leverage against her. They threatened her and said that they would tell the officers and the higher-ups that she was providing me with intel, top secret information, and if she had said anything. The real tragedy of this situation was not only that our relationship was destroyed, but how it hurt her for a number of years. She kept it quiet for the longest time. And I guess like me, keeping the things that happened with Mike and Ashley and compartmentalizing them, she did the same with her sexual assault. And then when we talked about it, it gave me the clarity to understand why she made that decision. In a way, she was protecting me, knowing what I had gone through, and at the same time protecting herself. But the scars that it left on her were greater than the ones that were left on me. She carried that throughout her life. And when she finally went to the VA and she talked about the things that were bothering her and the things that were impacting her, like many veterans, they're faced with questions, and they're not provided with answers. So it took her a while to finally submit her claim for PTSD and the trauma that she experienced. And I believe she's still going through a lot of that right now. And it impacted her relationships with her family and her husband. And for me, I really have a deeper sense of how things of this nature can impact a person throughout their lives. And it's really why I can take the war journal and the things that happened in Desert Storm and now apply them in a greater sense to my own life and to try to help people understand. We don't really know at times what's going on in other people's lives. And as I read, don't you wish you could understand what people are thinking? Don't you wish you understood the motivation behind their actions and behavior? Don't you wish you could understand how your behavior, the things you say, the way you act, influences and impacts the other people? And if you did, would you be a better person? I don't know. All I know is, for me, when Belinda said, "I will always love you," it stuck in me, and it was just, for me, very hurtful that we could experience so much emotion and then just turn it off. And that is the way I started to deal with a lot of adversity and trauma in my life. I would just turn it off and I would ignore it. And I don't know if it's right or it's wrong, but it was right for me. And it allowed me to overcome a lot of the challenges that I faced in my life, running a business, in my marriage. But I don't believe it was the right thing. The War Journal has one more entry. And after that, I'm going to transition into the manuscript. And I'm going to talk about the life lessons that I've learned through the War Journal and through my other experiences and deployments in the military. But I hope at this point you can take things away from the War Journal podcast. I hope you can understand how these things can be applied in your life. I hope you're entertained, but I more importantly hope that you can avoid some of the pitfalls in life or some of the challenges that you'll experience, and you will, through my narrative. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to the last entry.